Let's do another video about pattern-based trading using some tools that are, some are going to be added here to the Grid Algo program this week, and some are, just part of the NinjaTrader platform, inherent tools or indicators. I guess you could say whatever they inherently provide as part of the indicators that come with any NinjaTrader 8 download. So the key is, when I have level sweeps, or what we call level sweeps, let me make a square here. Actually, let's go to a regular square. So when we have level sweeps, I like to find ways to use the various tools to then find reversals after key levels have been tested or swept. And in our price action training room, we have some extensive videos on what are the levels, how you can track them, and what is a levels test and a level sweep. So if I have a level sweep, I can use this type of indicator. I call it the grid step. It's kind of a unique moving average, has some cloud functionality, and I'll show you more about the indicator, but the key is using indicators that help give you some visual efficiency so you can see the market, see what it's doing, and find high probability entry points. So in this case, working a level sweep trade after the bounce, after we get our first segment from Dodger Blue to Aqua, that could be a long setup with a risk of no more than the most recent swing, or what I say pivot, price pivot. The market traded down, it pivoted, and it's lifting. Now we have no guarantee it's going to go up, but level sweeps have a lot of reaction to them. But you don't want to, some people just, oh, there's a level there, I'm going to put an order and see what happens. Then, it just rips right on through. That's not smart. Wait till you have some mechanism that you're using for confirmation of the market giving a reversal. And in this case, we had some wicks down here. Those are some nice wicks. Then we get lift and we get the indicator, the grid step, to shift upward and shift from Dodger Blue to Aqua. That's your go time. So what I like is having a swing indication and then reversal. So I already know I had a level sweep, and I know for a fact this was a prominent area. It got swept. We get a hook. After the swing indicator, that's part of NinjaTrader 8 platform, is giving indication of a swing, then you can take a shot. Now here earlier we had what I call a pretty nice structural lower pivot high. The market traded lower, broke some prior support. The market had been stair-stepping up, very recent support. Then it came up and rotated lower. So you have a market that's stair-stepping lower. The fact that we started printing a swing and then I get a reversal, and I see that we have a lower pivot high here than we had on this peak, it's an area I can take a shot to the short side. Market had this big sell-off after that, had a level sweep, bounced, came up, and in a sense, you have another lower pivot high. You have a pivot, stair-step lower pivot, stair-step lower pivot. Now, I will admit, here's the edges of our recent range. This is getting close to the middle of that range. So this would be a lower probability trade, in my opinion. So it worked out, but it is a lower pivot high. The swing started plotting, and then I got a reversal, so I'll take a shot. Then the market comes down, unable to go down and retest this low, held, lifted. So that's a market starting to put in a higher pivot low and lift. The swing started plotting, get lift and a reversal. You could take a shot to the long side. Now here's what I really like. This is the patterns I want to talk about. I love this. Pullback, lift, pullback, lift, W pattern out of W pattern out of a swing plotting. Swing indicator starting to plot. You know, these are like quick scalp type trades. Now, the market came up, put in a succession of lower pivot highs where we have swings, rotates lower, not my cup of tea trade. This is kind of what I call the middle of the road. Here's the edges of the road. Here's the edges. The market's actually right here coiling up a bit. Not really any area I'm all excited about taking a trade. But it was the swing plotting, and then you got a reversal. So the two things to look for is the swing starting to plot and then a reversal. Now I like this where we pull back, we hold above. So we have the pivot, stair step higher, pivot, stair step higher, pivot, stair step higher, pivot. Long setup. I like that one right there. But I really like the W pattern and then long setup. That's like a really good trade. We held this area, traded just above it, and now we get a W pattern and lift. And even anybody wanting to work long side trade, taking a shot at these additional, where the market's stair stepping higher, I like that. You're looking, will the market go run up and retest this upper range? Took a while, but it made it up there. Then we get another pullback. We start getting the pivot indicator forming and we get lift. Take a long, stop here, cycles a bit, gives you a W pattern and lift. If you didn't get in there, can get in there. Pops a bit higher, pulls back, lift again. So you're getting sequential higher pivot lows in the indicator, the pattern of the indicator, which of course the same thing's happening in price. And then that one finally runs up to that range. Puts in a swing. It's right up at resistance, rotates lower. Then does a little bit of an M pattern and roll over in here. I'm not really excited about shorting that. I would have liked to have seen it sweep out these two levels. Then I'd be more excited. But the fact that it, came in, traded lower, the indicator, so basically the indicator, in a sense, put a sequential lower pivot than the prior one. So meaning this pivot, this uppermost part of the indicator, then came and the transition from aqua to Dodger blue, from aqua to Dodger blue is a lower pivot. So that is a M in the indicator that's formed. It's kind of a squashed M, but it's there. These W's are very pronounced. Big fat W, another W, another W, W, and so on, little M. So I like to use indicators where I can see the patterns of price. So I showed some examples in recent videos where you can do it with the Heikinashi 1. This is another way of doing it with something that's more rectangular in appearance, where you can maybe see the steps in price up and down maybe it's more visually efficient for you. So let's go look at another day. And this is just, simple on a 1-minute chart of the MNQ. Very just really simple approach to trading. I got the swing indicator at 27, 25 to 30 is kind of a number I like. And I've got the colors set. That's about it there. On the grid step, I have cyan, Dodger blue, cyan, Dodger blue. Then I have 3, 0.2, and my cloud offset is set at 0. And down in here on the grid step, I have it set to a thickness of 4. Trend 2, set to 4. I just leave the other ones where they're at. So 4 and 4. The color of the line is set here. It looks like a step moving average. So that's up there. So pretty straightforward. Now, let me show you something interesting that I can do with this indicator. Here's the cloud offset. It's actually two components to the indicator. I just have them over the top of each other. So watch what happens if I go to like a 4 and I hit apply. See, it's actually can be made into a cloud. I don't use it that way. That just is too much gobbledygook on my charts. But you might like using it that way for some reason. So, and you can minimize that cloud effect. 1, that thickens it up a bit. There's a 7, for instance. I'll just show you, the different looks. I just don't use it that way. I just put it at 0. I just use it as a single line, and that's what I like to see these points where the market is stair-stepping higher to work long trades or stair-stepping lower to work short trades. And the nice thing about this indicator is I can use it tied into analyzing where price was in relation to a mean as it feeds information to another indicator, looking at where are the dynamic edges of price and where is price in this indicator plot currently at in relation to the mean bar close by bar close. But it's a good indicator. It's got some uniqueness to it. Now here was the recent Friday that drove a lot of people nuts because it was a trash narrow range day, but there was structure there. There was patterns to visualize. Here was, early pre-market. We had a bit of a W pattern, some lift. Came into the 8:30 U.S. Central Time, Chicago time period of the Globex, I guess you could say the Globex time, which is Chicago time, 9:30 New York City time. The market had a pullback, broke some recent pivots, equaled some others, and then had some lift. Now, I don't really see anything all exciting in there. We started to establish a little bit of, that was our upper range of price after the open. This is our current lower range. What I did like though is there was a lower pivot high and some lift, a W pattern right in here on the close of that green bar. So letting it settle a bit, getting a fill if you're working a scalp, did give a bit of move, and then a level sweep. So these recent pivots were swept on a near-term scale. So level sweep, rotate lower. Somebody want to take a shot at the short side? Market came back down. You can see the indicator itself, the base of the indicator. Here's the base of the indicator before. Kind of held that area and lifted again. Rallied back up. Got another near-term, I'll call it an intraday level sweep. Not a significant level, but at least, the market's expanding its range a bit on the upper side, and the market came up and swept it and then rotated. So you got a reversal after an intraday level sweep. Then we came down, we swept this level and this level. We swept a couple levels, just intraday levels, and then we rotated. So if somebody wanted to be a buyer, wait till you get the flip in the indicator after you clean out a few levels. Would have been really nice if this would have come down and tested this level and then lifted. We came back up to the upper part of the range, and this is a very narrow range on Friday. That was just a junker range. Market wasn't able to break out one way or the other. But then it gave a little bit of an M pattern and roll over here. I thought that was decent because it basically did a levels test, tested this upper range, failed, levels test, worked its way lower, and then there's one spike move and institutionals came right back in and grabbed it. And then now we're into the later part of the day where I don't think anybody on a Friday would even want to pay any attention to it. So anyhow, you can use this type of a tool, play with it from the adjustment standpoint and see if it can help you visualize the structure of the market. You can set it up on a higher time frame chart and your lower time frame chart. So it's the grid step indicator. If you have any questions, info@gridalgo.com.